Yeah, just don't wander anymore over there. Hello, welcome to So Bad It's Good. On this week's episode, we have watched... Shit! Oh yes! Samurai Cop.
Stay back! This guy's mine!
Oh yeah!
Go.
Oh, I nearly got him.
Is it because he's so far removed from what you expect a samurai to be that you can't?
Maybe.
The name just doesn't stick.
You can speak Japanese, don't you know?
Fluently, apparently.
Fluently.
Although you never hear him say
Never
it. And he
hear him.
mispronounces a Japanese man's name.
Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
I'm a cop.
We meet our main characters who are Joe, who is our samurai cop from San Diego.
You're the one that talked me into bringing this moron from San Diego to fight the Japanese katana gang.
And Frank, who's his partner.
Frank is amazing.
Hey, counselor. We'll see you in court.
And he also looks stoned quite a lot.
He does.
Which adds to his character, I would say.
And yes, we have. We have many things on him. And this client of yours is going to need more than a lawyer to clean up his shit.
Played by a guy called Mark Fraser. I've written dead behind the eyes, laughs at inappropriate moments, frequently leaves Joe to fight bad guys and looks on for the sidelines.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for bringing you from San Diego. Are you sure this is a good bust?
Yeah, cocaine.
I'm pretty sure Joe's, and bearing in mind he's the main character, his first line is dubbed.
Yeah, cocaine.
And it's not even what he says.
Cocaine.
Fun fact, the director chose to shoot this movie wild, which essentially means shoot the movie without any sound and then dub it all later. So he shot the movie wild, went to dub it all later, and a number of the actors weren't available.
He could only get Frank and Joe back. And then you see some katana dudes have one of the most awkward and suspicious looking drug money handoffs. I then learned that they had no money for filming at night equipment, so everything was shot in the day. Hence, so I imagine you should have had like a scene like that at night in some shifty car park. I don't think a lot of consideration was really put into this film.
No, I think once it hit the ground running, they were like, we just got to keep filming.
Just, from what I've read about this, most of the scenes were done in one take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got him. Hey, man, watch it. Watch it. Oh man.
I love what that stuntman did, though.
He did.
Because when he's laying on the ground.
Oh, for the back shot?
Yeah, he's laying on the ground
out,
and he just flicks himself.
He does. It's like he just jumps up off the thingy to make it look like the car's just run over him. And he wasn't just lying under the boot as they pulled off. They then sort of come to a stop because one of the gang members is on fire. And they have the slowest deliberation I have ever seen about how to put out a fire.
To be fair, right, they are very bad police officers.
They are terrible.
And this is to cement that fact.
And to be fair, you also see very clearly that it is most certainly not the witness that we saw in the van that then gets put out with the fire extinguisher. The guy lying on the floor who looks directly at camera just after he's been put out, just before they put the blanket over his head, looks directly at camera and is just clearly just a white guy who looked like no attempt has been made.
No,
and he stares down the lens of the camera whilst on fire.
After that, we then have the first of our pointless sex scenes. It serves no purpose.
Gotcha.
I think it was just that it's the 90s, and I think by law you just had to have one.
One, all right. Yeah. How many's this film got?
There's 3. Two of them I would class as pointless. One.
What's going on, Steve?
Not much, sir. There's a nurse in there giving him an injection. He's burned pretty bad.
Joe and Frank then go to the hospital to speak to the burned witness.
So what, he'll never be able to talk again?
Oh, he'll talk again, but you just have to give him a couple of weeks. Next time, guys, catch him in one piece.
Thanks, nurse.
The nurse then starts flirting.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see? Yeah.
Well, then let's see what you've got.
And then she feels him up, and there's absolutely no reaction from him whatsoever on his face.
Doesn't interest me.
She just looks like an nympho who just asks men to sleep with her a lot.
Nothing there?
You're at a place of work. I mean, saying that, Samurai Cop also tells a woman she's coming in for questioning and then takes her to his home and then has sex with her.
Yeah,
This is true, yeah.
Like, this is
I
a
know.
morally corrupt
This is
film,
very,
Chris.
very morally corrupt. Joe and Frank then go tell the dopey deputy who's waiting outside guarding the room. They say to him, do not let anyone into this room unless it's us or a doctor. And then he literally lets in the first person that walks up to the door.
Hey, where are you doing?
I have to change the trash. Is that all right?
All right.
She's wearing a white coat. So he just lets in the first person that rocks up, who just so happens to be a Katana gang member. She's wheeling a trolley, and it's got big old Yamashita in it.
Oh, no!
Okay, Joe. Keep it up.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
Was that about a vagina?
It's an internal orifice, mate. It can only be warm unless she's dead.
Well, that, yeah,
Keep
but he's
it warm.
worried.
This is a nice way. Stay alive.
Yeah.
Stay alive, because I'd like to bang you again whilst you're still breathing.
Well, you know, limber up maybe. Get ready for it. Although we know he's got a small penis.
Or has he?
Well,
According to that nurse, but we don't know whether or not that nurse had a fanny like a fucking cathedral.
I trust her medical opinion of his penis.
Joe and Frank then go off to the Blue Lagoon, which apparently is where Fujiyama hangs out. And Fujiyama is the head of the Katana gang. They talk about him being the most wanted man, but they know where he lives.
And he's
where he
at
hangs
restaurants and, yeah.
So you're the infamous boss of this shit Katana gang, huh?
I think the challenge for that is that he often eats with his lawyer, and his lawyer is a very shrewd man, and therefore, when the police turn up, they got no hope.
I'll file the case first thing in the morning.
Hey, counselor, you still have 3 or 4 hours before the courthouse closes.
I think Joe and Frank are supposed to be threatening Fujiyama and his gang.
Oh, I felt
But it's all just a bit wet lettuce, isn't it?
By the way, what's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this?
Fujiyama is sat next to this lovely young lady called Jennifer, who I don't think is supposed to be his girlfriend, but there is a link.
I'm going to say he's sweet on her.
Yeah. Joe and Frank then go outside, and Yamashita, who is Fujiyama's right-hand man, sends some goons after him.
Yeah.
And then Joe beats them up mostly, and then Frank kicks them when they're on the floor. And then Joe and Frank arrest them, and then Yamashita then spends a very long time with an automatic weapon firing bullets at everything. Joe then starts hitting on Jennifer in more of a way, he sort of goes to visit her, and because like you said, he's just a horny toad.
Why is no one talking about the lion? Stoned happy lion, just like, yeah, I'm here. Everybody's looking at me with my furry me.
It just so happens, actually, that because he's sleeping with her, isn't that the reason they then come for him? Which gives him the excuse to just kill them all.
Kind of, yeah.
Maybe it was all part of his plan.
Well, this one's dead too. Not captured alive.
He solves the crime by killing everyone. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, it's the way of the samurai, isn't it?
They know who the gang is. They go, that's the gang. And he goes, okay, I'll do police work. And he kills everyone until there's no gang left.
I'm in, uncuff him.
Hey, preacher.
Yeah?
You and I got nothing to do. Let's fuck.
Shut up.
Was that a joke, or was she
Bants.
being
Absolute bants. Her delivery is not just the vocal. She even stands badly in this. There are scenes with Peggy, right, where she's standing there, and there's this whole thing where this bit where he's telling sort of it's just like some story of sexual conquest or something along those lines. But he's saying it in front of her, and I think this is after their awkwardly long sex scene, their first sex scene. So he's saying it, and then she's just standing there, and she just looks so awkward, but not in her face, not like she feels awkward. Just like her natural posture is just one of like.
You better come to my house before you report to the captain.
For what?
Let's use it before you lose it.
So one interesting thing about this film is that
It's the way it was shot.
It was the way it's shot. They filmed it.
We pretty much finished most of the film by November of '90, and Amir says, "Okay, we're done, Matt. Thank you. I've got everything I need. I'll call you in a few months when I have tape for you."
Joe had gone off to film something else and had cut all of his long, lovely locks off.
So I walk in and he flips out. "What have you done? You have ruined my film." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You cut your hair. We have more to film." I said, "You told me we were through."
But actually, they still had half the film to film.
We jump in his little car and we ran to Hollywood Boulevard, and Hollywood and Vine was a wig shop, and he just walks me in and he starts looking around.
The only real resemblance it had to his hair was that they were long and it was kind of brown. Because it's not just the odd scene where you see him in this wig. It's like in one sequence, it goes from hair, fake hair, hair, fake hair. There is a fight between Joe and Okamura where they're sort of having a bit of a tussle, and Okamura grabs sort of the back of his neck / head and then yanks back. Like, not even just slips a bit.
It's really clear.
Properly comes off his head. And then Okamura just tries to shove it back on again. Matthew Credus kind of said that he sort of started to almost deliberately fuck things up a bit because he was hoping that like the director would then say, "Oh yeah, we'll do that again," but then they just didn't, and then he just used it.
Telling you, man, everything that was shot is in this film.
Yeah,
everything.
We then have our second pointless sex scene, and this is really pointless.
Oh,
where have we got it here?
Yeah, it's a moth.
You could argue the first one is to establish Joe as a horny toad who sleeps with everybody. This one, utterly pointless. No, I don't know why it's there.
Look at that. Look how they make love. It's beautiful.
The scene is obviously there to establish that the two of them are in a relationship. But they already had scenes earlier in the movie where it was just the two of them alone, where you could have established just with something, like the whole weird scene with the chopping off the head, for them to just sort of have some kind of passionate embrace over the beheaded man's body.
Just
be pretty grim, but would also establish that, oh shit, they're horrible.
Yeah. Instead, they're like, well, we want to see tit, though.
We need to ramp up the titty exposure in this film.
How long? Hold on, it's been 20 minutes. We ain't seen tit.
Yamashita and his goons then go to just a policeman's house. So they're trying to get Joe's address out of them, but they don't know, or he doesn't know, and then they just kill him.
Did you find it necessary to see that woman's boob in that shot?
No.
Oh my God, we're getting more boobies.
Arguably, she's the best actor in this whole production.
She is. I genuinely thought they've broken into this woman's house.
My husband, he's a police officer. You can't do this to us.
Yeah, I know. I want to know where your samurai friend is.
I don't know if you noticed, but the preacher man just went, go to the girl policeman's house.
Who knows? How about Frank or Peggy the Girl Cop?
Talking about Preacher.
Yeah.
Can we talk about when Preacher definitely looks like he's got cocaine under his nose?
Also, there are two other Japanese gangs, the Shinjuku and Ginza gangs. They're both rivals to the katana.
I'm not saying the actor was doing cocaine. I'm saying that
Preacher
was
was
doing the
bang
cocaine.
on the coke.
Considering samurai cops going around killing people, and that's all right. So I'm sure a little
Yeah,
bit of
probably-
dabbling of cocaine's good.
Cut back to Joe and Jennifer, and then they get it on and do the dirty.
Oh, and that shot.
Look at that.
Oh, they're a little bit baggier than you'd expect, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
There's just this sweet transition where suddenly the camera's behind, and instead of her bum, you've got his bum
It's
in
not
his
bum, it's his black trunks.
It's his
Obviously,
black
which
trunks.
are on his
It's his black trunks that his bum doesn't quite fit.
Because it's not, oh, you've got a close-up of skin, and here's another close-up
yeah.
of skin as we go back out.
Oh, I
again.
know what you mean. I just quite like the idea of this bum-to-bum transition.
Well, no, in the industry, we call that arse to arse.
Oh, arse to
transition.
arse, sorry. It's like when people go to use the ATM machines, and I always think, doesn't that just mean arse to mouth?
Yeah, you know, even I do as well. I do think that really weirdly. Yeah, yeah.
It says a lot about my sort of, me and my sort of formative years.
Yeah, your viewing habits.
Yeah, but you know, when the internet wasn't available,
we all did arse to mouth.
Get out of your house. I mean, fast. Get out fast, man. Well, guys are looking for you.
Frank half-heartedly sort of warns Joe on the throat, and I say half-heartedly. I think it's just because he's shit and can't act. And then Joe looks out the window, goes, "They're already here."
You can run all you want, but you'll never get away from me!
Then Fujiyama shoots Frank, and he goes down.
Yeah.
Like, I was a bit like,
I
oh
genuinely
my God,
was
Frank.
as well. I was like, no.
Not Frank.
Oh my God, no. Frank's the hero.
Frank's the hero because he shoots Fujiyama. And there's a really long, drawn out, not
Long-winded.
very funny explanation.
He was smart in every way, except one thing.
What's that?
With all his money and success, he's not as smart as I am.
To do what?
Put on a bulletproof vest, man.
And then basically Joe and Yamashita have a really shit sword fight that's got some cracking facial expressions, but it's awful. The actors kind of said, having read around this, that they had no training with weapons before this film, or no, I know,
during.
crazy, isn't it? Joe then bests Yamashita in a sword fight.
You lost. You lost, face.
But doesn't kill him. And Frank, for the first time ever, one of them has a conscience and goes, don't kill him.
No, Joe, you're a cop.
So Yamashita ends up just killing himself.
What is he doing?
No. Leave him alone. He's a samurai.
You need to arrest him to save your job.
And that's the end of this film that we watched together.
We all enjoyed this, right?
I did. I really enjoyed this film.
This was hilariously bad.
Yeah, it's everything you want in a So Bad It's Good. Amir Shervan was the director, and it was the last thing he ever made.
We made more.
No.
I mean, just I know. By last film, you were implying that he made more than just this one.
He only had 6 director credits, with Samurai Cop being the last film.
Hello, Tom here in the edit. Just letting you know that I quickly scanned IMDb, and Christopher was slightly mistaken. He has over 30 credits as a director. I didn't want this to go unmentioned because I feel like we owe you the best.
He died before the film sort of gained its cult status that it's now got.
Right.
He was Iranian. I believe he had a bit of an acting career in Iran and was fairly prolific, but director credits, he only had 6.
Apologies again.
This film is a bit like someone who's given up. It's written, produced, and directed by someone who doesn't really care
I
anymore.
don't see it as given up at all. I think it's someone who just has absolutely no idea. This man thinks this stuff is fine. I don't know that he thinks it's great. I think that's a bit of a stretch. But he thinks what he's doing is fine. If I just churn this out, it will sell, we'll make money.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Read the script. If you don't like anything, we can change it, which never happened.
And he wouldn't let him. He wouldn't let, which
Again,
is the same as Troll 2.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Troll 2, which is what makes that so brilliant.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
So do you think that the key to a So Bad It's Good is a foreign director and writer with a low budget
and an ego
directing not particularly talented people?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that's
right.
That's pretty, yeah.
Pop that in the Amazon search.
But this film did eventually produce a sequel.
Right.
Called, quite imaginatively, Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance. It was released in 2015, and guess who also stars in that film?
But I believe the love is one continuous stream, which is never ends.
Tommy Wiseau, isn't it?
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, it's Tommy
Samurai
Wiseau.
Cop 2.
There we go.
Well, that was something, wasn't it?
Is that not a piss take?
This is a 5 for me. This is a 5-star So Bad It's Good. It's so bad, it's brilliant. There is not a bit of this film that you don't watch where you're just like, what the fuck? From Joe being both terrible and brilliant.
Hey, look!
Police! Don't move, you're under arrest.
Stop! Charlie, get your gun! Quick, go! Hurry! That way! Cops are here!
To Frank being off his tits stoned, as far as I can tell, and seeming at times like he is watching a different scene play out in front of him by the way he reacts.
And I don't have much more credit in this department to have bodies laying around me.
Fine, you don't want me here anymore. All you gotta do is ship me back.
It's got every ingredient, but that it's also baked to perfection.
Get out of here, you asshole. Leave me alone. I got more important things than a shyster like you. Get out of here. I'll see you in court. You motherfucker, I'll see you in hell.
For me, this is a 4.5. It is excellent. There's just one too many like fight scenes that nothing really happens. Like near the end when they go to the old boss and then they go to the new. I'm a bit like I'm a bit ready to.
I know what you mean.
Ended a fight before. I think it would have been just like 5 at that point. It is fantastic. It's just not a perfect 5. I don't know, but like, what is that? Who cares? It's amazing. You should most definitely watch this. 4.5 for me.
You son of a bitch! Come back here, you motherfucker!
No. Oh.
I'm also going to give it 5. I loved it. It's so much fun to watch because everything is terrible. The acting is terrible. The dialogue is terrible. The production is terrible. The dubbing is terrible. But it's so much fun to watch.
So Samurai Cop gets 14.5 out of 15. Oh. So if you enjoyed this, check out our other videos. We've got a Neil Breen over here, which is very much in the same kind of
league, I'd say.
Yeah. And our other real big favourite, Troll 2, over this side. So give the old finger a click on it and like and subscribe.
Sorry, can you explain give the finger a click on it?
Sounds like you're telling someone, like, break that man's fingers.